Hello and welcome to Nyam Nyam. Let's make these fantastically colourful rainbow cookies. Start by adding 1 egg white to a mixing bowl and whisking it till it's frothy. Then mix in 300 grams of icing sugar. And add a dash of food colour. We're starting with lilac icing. Then let's make an array of different coloured icing and put them all in piping bags. Now get your cookie. Start by covering it in white icing. Leave that to rest for 1 hour and then decorate with colourful lines of icing. Brilliant! Moving on to our second design, we're doing dots this time, working out from the middle. There! And finally, let's do a rainbow. And adding some clouds underneath. And there you have it, 3 brilliantly colourful cookie designs. Enjoy! Introducing you to soft and delicious blue swirl cookies. Easy to make. All you need is 150 grams of butter whisked away in a bowl with 100 grams of icing sugar. Add 2 egg yolks to that, keeping the egg whites aside. Now, through a sieve, we're going to add 250 grams of wheat flour and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, sifting it in there. Again, whisking it together. Scraping it off the sides with a spatula. Now we're going to flour a chopping board and place our cookie dough on it. Rolling it into a ball and slightly flattening it out, then cutting it into 2 halves. 1 half of the cookie dough we're going to colour blue with blue food colouring, mixing it up till it's all evenly mixed in there. Now one at a time we're going to roll out each of our cookie dough colours, rolling them flat about 1/2 inch in thickness. Now for the blue cookie dough. And we're going to layer them on top of each other, rolling them up like a Swiss roll and just slicing off the excess. Once that's rolled, we're going to wrap it in cling film. And then, removing the cling film, put it on a baking tray, coating it in egg white and covering it in rainbow sprinkles. Roll it over so that you can completely cover it in rainbow colours, and time to slice it into cookies. Look at that, beautiful. It's like something out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now those are going to go on some baking paper on a baking tray in the oven for 15 minutes at 150 degrees. And there you have it. Beautiful blue swirl cookies. Let's make meringue cookies. Yum! Start with some egg white, 80 grams to be precise. Whisk it up. And then add in 140 grams of sugar, a little at a time. Now whisk until slightly thickened. Then add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract and sift in 20 grams of corn flour. Give it a final whisk. Pop that aside and get a glass. Place a food piping bag inside the glass, and then using a cocktail stick, you're going to paint stripes on the inside of the piping bag. A variety of colours, and then pop in your meringue mixture. Remove the piping bag from the glass and start piping your meringues onto a baking tray. Just look at that. Bake for 65 minutes at 210 degrees Fahrenheit. And when they're ready, you can pipe on some cream. And whichever filling you like. Close them up and there you have meringue cookies. You can dip them in chocolate for a finishing touch. Yum! Let's make cookie cups. Add to a bowl 200 grams of unsalted butter, 60 grams of icing, 50 grams of brown sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk that together. Then add in 1 egg and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And finally, 300 grams of bread flour and 50 grams of chocolate chips. Your cookie dough is ready. Place some foil cupcake holders on a baking tray and spray them lightly with oil. Then scoop in your cookie dough. Use your fingers to mould the cookie dough to the size of the cupcake holder. Then bake at 180 degrees for 15 minutes. Once ready, fill them with melted chocolate, being sure to tip the cup around and coat the inside. Then simply fill with some milk. And enjoy! Cheers! Love, love, love. Love being creative. All you need is a simple heart-shaped cookie. Add some pink candy melts on that in a little food piping bag, covering the entire top. Shake it so it becomes smooth, and add a few sprinkles for a finishing touch. Now we can use red candy melts, of course, the colour of love. A little bit of melted dark chocolate to make a smiley face and some heart sprinkles. And some melted white chocolate, a little bit of variety in colour and taste. And let's write on this one, how about love? You can be as creative as you like. Writing, faces, sprinkles. It's all very royalicious. We're never too old for good-looking cookies. All you need is 60 grams of egg white mixed with 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, whisked together till light and frothy. Add 380 grams of icing sugar to that, mixing as you go, adding a little bit at a time. Now once that mixture is nice and thick, we're going to spoon in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Adds a lovely flavour to our icing. Those go into 4 separate bowls for our different colours: purple, blue, pink and turquoise. Now, using food piping bags, we're going to put those colours on our cookie. Blue, purple, pink, and finally white goes in the middle. Now, using a cocktail stick, we're going to just swirl that around to make a galaxy effect. Doing the same with a flat knife, adding little white specks for stars. Beautiful. Next, we're going to do some white covered cookies and some pink covered cookies, creating a polka dot effect with the opposite colour. Pink dots on a white cookie and white dots on a pink cookie. Beautiful. Now we're going to add some red dots and just swirl them around with your cocktail stick, creating love hearts. Now we can do some stripes along our cookie, mixing red and white stripes on a pink base, and again using a cocktail stick to make a super cool pattern. Look at that. Beautiful speckled and galaxy cookies. Yum. Let's make your evening snack colourful and fancy. All you need is 50 grams of butter in a mixing bowl, whisk it up and add 40 grams of icing sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 egg yolk will go into that, using an electric whisk to speed up the process. And sift in 100 grams of wheat flour and 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. So these are the main ingredients that go into our cookie dough. Nice and simple. Scrape it off around the sides. Now we have our cookie dough. We're going to chill it for 1 hour. Sprinkle some flour and then roll it out on a chopping board into a nice thin layer, using our cookie cutters to cut out our pineapple, our orange and our strawberry, a heart-shaped cookie cutter and a star-shaped cookie cutter to make the shape of our strawberry. Now those are ready to go in the oven. Meanwhile, we get 1 egg white and whisk it up till it's light and frothy. Add 150 grams of icing sugar to that, a bit at a time. Now, when it's nice and thickened, it's ready. That's going to go into several different mixing bowls where we will add our food colouring for the different fruits. That's going to food piping bags. So first of all, we're going to make our orange. So in the middle of our round cookie, we'll put the orange. And then white around the edge and in the middle. Now using a cocktail stick, we can make our orange segmented effect. And finally, orange around the edge. Chill that for 1 hour. When it's set, we can add our seeds with some white icing. Next is our strawberry, so we're going to do green for the stem and of course red for the strawberry. Again, chill that for 1 hour and then add our detail on top. Our leaves and our strawberry seeds. This is the fun part. Why not get the kids involved? Now for our pineapple, we're going to have our green crown and of course yellow for the main body. Chill that for 1 hour and now we add again our detail. Crisscross effect is going to go on top of the yellow part and some little seeds. Beautiful. And there you have it. Fruit cookies. Fantastically fun to make and delicious to eat.